There's a fighter jet that appears as a bumblebee on radar, but destroys everything it encounters. It achieved a 108-0 kill ratio against America's best fighters. Only 143 are combat ready. Each costs $150 million, and it has never lost an air-to-air battle. This is the F-22 Raptor. Today you'll discover why it controls the world's skies. Let's start with what makes the F-22 fundamentally different from every other fighter jet on the planet. It's not just fast, it's not just maneuverable, it's functionally invisible. The F-22's radar signature is so small that on enemy radar screens, this 62-foot-long, 40,000-pound fighter jet appears to be the size of a bumblebee. Think about that for a second. A fighter jet the size of a house shows up on radar as an insect. Every single surface on this aircraft is designed to scatter radar waves away from their source. There are literally no right angles anywhere on the exterior. The wing edges line up perfectly with the tail edges. Even the cockpit glass is coated with radar-absorbing materials. But stealth is just the beginning. The F-22 was the first fighter jet ever to combine 4 game-changing technologies in one airframe: stealth, supercruise, supermaneuverability, and sensor fusion. Supercruise means it can fly faster than the speed of sound without using afterburners. Most fighters can only go supersonic in short bursts before they run out of fuel. The F-22 can cruise at Mach 1.5 all day long. In 2006, the U.S. Air Force conducted Exercise Northern Edge in Alaska. This wasn't some airshow demonstration. This was full-scale combat simulation against America's most experienced fighter pilots flying F-15 Eagles, F-16 Fighting Falcons, and F/A-18 Super Hornets. The results were so dominant that they had to be classified for years. When the numbers finally came out, they shocked even the pilots who flew the exercise. The F-22 Raptors achieved a kill ratio of 108-0 against F-15 Eagles, F-16 Fighting Falcons, and F/A-18 Super Hornets. According to USAF pilots interviewed after Northern Edge 2006, this wasn't even close. In one engagement, 3 F-22s encountered 22 F-15C Eagles and shot them all down in under 2 minutes. The F-15, undefeated in 40 years of real combat, couldn't even detect the Raptors before being eliminated. The F-15 pilots never even saw them coming. The F-22s fired their AIM-120 AMRAAM missiles from beyond visual range, turned around, and left. By the time the F-15s knew they were under attack, they were already dead. This is what 5th-generation air superiority looks like. You don't dogfight, you don't get close, you kill from the shadows and disappear. The F-22's sensor fusion system processes information from over a dozen sensors. Think of it as giving the pilot God mode vision of everything within 100 miles. The ANAPG-77 radar tracks multiple targets simultaneously. Electronic warfare systems jam enemy communications. Infrared sensors detect engine heat from massive distances. All of this information gets processed by computers with 1.7 million lines of code and displayed on screens that show the pilot exactly where every threat is, what it's doing, and how to kill it most efficiently. The pilot doesn't have to think about which sensor detected what or how to correlate different pieces of information. The aircraft does all of that automatically. The pilot just has to decide which targets to engage first. This is why F-22 pilots describe air combat as unfair. They can see everything, shoot first, shoot accurately, and leave before the enemy even knows what happened. Here's something that the Air Force doesn't like to advertise. The F-22 Raptor, the most advanced fighter jet ever built, has been shot down in training exercises. Not by missiles, not by surface-to-air defenses, by other fighter jets in old-school dogfights. During red flag exercises, German Eurofighter Typhoons managed to score kills against F-22s in close-range combat. The German pilots were so proud they painted F-22 kill markings on their aircraft and told reporters they had Raptor salad for lunch. But here's the crucial detail. These kills only happened when the F-22 was carrying external fuel tanks, which completely destroys its stealth advantage and makes it handle like a truck. And only in visual range dogfights, which is exactly the kind of combat the F-22 was designed to avoid. In its proper stealth configuration, with internal fuel and weapons only, the F-22 remains undefeated, because in real combat it would never allow an enemy fighter to get close enough for a dogfight in the first place. Modern air combat happens at ranges of 50 to 100 miles. The F-22 can detect, target, and destroy enemy aircraft from distances where they can't even see it, let alone fight back. This is the difference between training exercises and real warfare. In training, you have to give the other guy a chance. In combat, the F-22 doesn't. So if the F-22 is so dominant, why hasn't it shot down any fighters in real combat? The answer reveals something important about modern warfare that most people don't understand. Since the F-22 entered service in 2005, the United States hasn't fought a single enemy with a serious air force. Iraq's air force fled to Iran during the Gulf War. Afghanistan had no fighter jets. ISIS had no air force. Iran keeps its fighters on the ground when American jets are in the area. Instead, the F-22 has been used for ground attack missions, dropping precision-guided bombs on terrorist targets and command bunkers. It's like using a Formula One race car to deliver pizza. It works, but it's not what it was designed for. The F-22 was built to fight advanced fighters like China's J-20 and Russia's Su-57. But neither China nor Russia has been stupid enough to actually test their luck against it. The F-22's only confirmed air-to-air kill came in February 2023, when it shot down a Chinese surveillance balloon off the coast of South Carolina. The balloon was the size of 3 school buses and flying at 60,000 feet, and the F-22 destroyed it with a single AIM-9X Sidewinder missile. F-22 pilots describe this as simultaneously the easiest and most important shot they've ever taken. Easy because a balloon can't shoot back. Important because it sent a message to China about American air superiority. The F-22 that's flying today isn't the same aircraft that entered service in 2005. Continuous upgrades have made it even more lethal, and the latest improvements are pushing it into an entirely new category of air superiority. The new AIM-260 Joint Advanced Tactical Missile has longer range than enemy weapons and features coordinated engagement capabilities. Infrared search and track sensors, scheduled for Block 3035 upgrades, allow target detection without radar emissions. New electronic warfare systems can jam entire enemy air defense networks while remaining undetected. Low-drag stealth fuel tanks, currently in testing, will extend combat range without compromising radar signature. This addresses one of the Raptor's few operational limitations. New stealth coatings make the F-22 even harder to detect on radar and infrared sensors. Some of these upgrades are so classified that we can only show you the aircraft from certain angles. The latest upgrade allows F-22s to control autonomous drones, essentially giving each pilot a wingman that can't be shot down and doesn't need to worry about G-forces or life support. The F-22 Raptor program cost over $65 billion through 2011, making each aircraft effectively $150 million. Total lifecycle costs may exceed $90 billion. For that money, the Air Force got 187 aircraft instead of the 750 originally planned. Budget cuts, changing priorities, and political pressure shut down the production line in 2011, making the F-22 the most exclusive fighter jet ever built. Critics argued that the F-22 was designed to fight a Soviet air force that no longer existed. Why spend billions on an air superiority fighter when the biggest threats were terrorists with improvised explosive devices? Today, those critics look remarkably short-sighted. China has built hundreds of advanced fighters and is challenging American air superiority in the Pacific. Russia has deployed new aircraft and air defense systems that threaten NATO operations. The 187 F-22s now look like barely enough to maintain American air dominance in a world where potential enemies are fielding increasingly capable aircraft in much larger numbers. The manufacturing equipment and tooling for the F-22 were destroyed when production ended, making it impossible to build more without starting the program from scratch. This decision may have been the most expensive false economy in military history. The F-22 won't fly forever. The Air Force is developing the next-generation air dominance fighter to eventually replace it, but that program has faced delays and budget challenges of its own. What's remarkable is that a fighter designed in the 1980s and first flown in 1997 is still the most advanced air superiority aircraft in the world. No other country has managed to build anything that comes close to the F-22's combination of stealth, speed, and sensors. China's J-20 and Russia's Su-57 are impressive aircraft, but they're still playing catch-up to technology the United States mastered 25 years ago. And the F-22 keeps getting better while they're still trying to match its original capabilities. The 143 combat-ready F-22s represent the core of American air superiority. They help deter potential conflicts while maintaining technological advantages that keep adversaries from testing U.S. resolve. A new generation of pilots is learning to fly the Raptor, ensuring that American air superiority will continue for decades to come. These pilots are training on systems and tactics that remain classified, preparing for threats that may not emerge for years. The F-22 Raptor represents something unprecedented in military aviation. It's a fighter jet so advanced that it makes every other aircraft in the world obsolete by comparison. It can do things that seem impossible, see things that should be invisible, and strike targets that should be untouchable. In an era where military technology advances rapidly and yesterday's advantages disappear overnight, the F-22 remains as dominant today as it was when it first flew. That's not just impressive engineering. That's strategic genius. The next time you hear about tensions with China or Russia, remember that America has 143 reasons why those tensions don't turn into shooting wars. The F-22 Raptor isn't just a fighter jet. It's a guarantee that American pilots will control the skies for generations to come. That's the power of being untouchable.